And later on, I'll mention some edits and things that I got wrong. But this video is basically just a step-by-step guide for people questioning their trans identity. So what we will look at in this video is pre-transition, or discovering your identity. Then we'll look at coming out, like what order and how to do it. Then a little bit of medical info, then some early social transitioning tips. Then the last parts of transitions and like a little outro section. And a Q&A. If you were looking at my community posts, you might have noticed that I had a little Q&A questionnaire. I've included every single question that I got inside this video. If you want to ask questions though, just comment them down below on this video, and when my next video comes out, you'll be mentioned. Username and all. And I'll link your channel down in the description. Now, with this whole preamble out of the way, sit back, relax, cuddle your blowhard, and enjoy tonight's feature presentation. Stage 1. Guys, I swear I'm still cis though. Wishing that one day you'd wake up and be a different person? Envy other genders and wish you could be them. Feel inadequate, like everything you do is fake and your whole life's been lying and whatever about to nothing? No? Just me? Okay. Well, you might be searching desperately online for some answers and stumbled across this video or other ones like it. At this stage, everything must feel very confusing for you, as you may feel like your whole life has been a lie. But I've got some ways that might help you decide if you want to go forward. First tip, try a different online identity. This is the best way, in my opinion, to figure out what you're most comfortable with. For example, make a new Discord account, and go to different servers and LARP as the gender you're questioning. No, never give out actual personal info, and I'd refrain from talking to people in DMs with this fake identity. Just stick to servers, trust me. Now this could be using a new name, new pronouns, new speaking types, and even voice trading if you're the kind of person who likes to voice call more than talk. Tip number 2, try out new clothes. This is a very simple but very effective way to experiment in private or in public if the word social anxiety on your vocabulary. If you feel scared buying clothes of a different gender in public, if you feel scared about buying clothes of a different gender in public, especially when checking out, I've got 5 ways to help. 1. Make up a lie. When you check out, say, I'm buying these for a friend or family member. If you're buying any sort of undergarments, like underwear or bras, I don't recommend this option as it may just make you come off as a bit creepy. Number 2, child labor. Buying cheap clothes online. Now, I personally hate the fast fashion industry. But, if push comes to shove, and you don't have the funds or means to get clothes from other places, this is an option. Number 3, buying merch. Why is this a separate option? Because it's fun! I wanted to talk about it specifically. What's a better feeling than gender euphoria? I'm showing off the fact that you know ball, Amori, Undertale, Deltarune, mouthwashing, milk inside a bag, a milk inside a bag, a milk inside a bag, a milk inside a bag, and Ina. Number 4, hand-me-downs. Ask a supportive family member for old clothes. Not much to add here. And 5, buying clothes that aren't cheap online. Try to see if they have discreet packaging. So, by now you'll probably have a sense of how you feel. Once you know what feels right, you need to question yourself. Ask yourself, would I be happier? Would I able to be afford what I need? Is a good time for me based on my current mental health? Now, you don't need dysphoria to be trans. Some people's opinions. I'm personally under the belief that you need euphoria to be trans. Because in the end of the day, if transitioning doesn't make you happy or make you feel better at all, then you shouldn't go through the long, tough, hard decision of transitioning, as it is not easy. You will hate yourself and think that you're not good enough. You will get bullied, assaulted, or even hate crime. And you will need to go through all that while your government is trying to actively erase your whole existence. But at this stage, you should have somewhat of an idea of what your identity is, which means you should tell people if you want to go through it, the whole medical side of things. In this scenario, I'm assuming that you personally would want to do all the HRT and surgeries needed. There are some people called transmed who do think that you need all those to be trans. I really just don't care. You do you. But like, I'm assuming that you do want to do all that. And that's basically for the next bit of the video. Now, before we go to stage 2, I just wanted to thank you all for love and support you've given me in the past week. I couldn't be more grateful. Now, I'm not going to force you to subscribe or like, but if you're listening in the background or whatever, want to help me out a little, and if you haven't done it already, please consider subscribing, as these videos are going to be my main focus content-wise, so you'll have lots of yummy videos coming soon. Stage 2. I misspelled something sensitive. Stage 3. Coming out as transgender. So, you grip your identity, you fucking little appendix you. Unfortunately, if you're under 18, which, let's be honest here, you probably are, you're going to have to tell your parents. Now look, you don't have to medically transition before 18, and sure, there are surgeries you can have to make your face or body look more better, especially if you're male to female. If you don't medically transition on the age of 18, your life will be a whole lot worse and a lot more harder, as those surgeries are not cheap and usually not covered by insurance. But let's go through the order I think is best when telling people. So I think you should tell all your online friends first, then your close friends, then your outer accepting family, your close accepting family, and then your not accepting close family, and then your not accepting outer family. Now, telling your parents can either be the easiest thing, or the most hardest thing you'll ever do in your life, depending on the personal views and beliefs of them. But if you know 100% your parents are supportive, then you can skip to the timestamp on screen. But if not, buckle up, because oh boy, I got some advice for you. Okay, so you know or have a suspicion that your parents won't take it well. I have a few ways that you can use to work out something. I'm very lucky to have such supportive family and parents. They love me very much and I love them very much, and you know, they supported me fully. But if you don't, try option number 1. Tell them flat out. This is the riskiest move, and you should only do it if you know you won't be in any physical danger by doing it. It doesn't have to be a big spectacle or something special, just flat out tell them. Or if you want to educate them, you can show them my transitioning video. Shameless self-promotion, I know. Number 2, secretly transition. This is the one with the highest risk and the highest reward, because you can actually do what you want to do. And you do almost all things medically without your parents knowing, when got surgery centers. Now, I'm not advising it, but you can do DIY HRT. People much smarter than me have made better videos than you can watch around this. For example, Lily Alexandra's video, DIY HRT, everything I can legally tell you. I'll put that one on screen right now, and I'll leave the link in the description. But I'll give some advice and hints on where you can look if you need to go down that route. And after this whole segment, I'll explain the effects of the major forms of male to female HRT, so estrogen. But basically, if you go to a website called for information, there'll be a list of informational vendors who can give you information about the risks and the prices. But if you go down this route, you'll have to work in tandem with healthcare workers. 99% of the time, they won't snitch. Or at least mail in your own blood and do your own blood work to monitor your testosterone and estrogen levels. Make sure that your estrogen levels are higher, and also make sure that if you take the pill form of it, that you don't form blood clots. And number 3, bite the bullet. This is the most pessimistic but safe option for you. Physically, mentally, it will be torture. But if you're a parent, it will be torture. If you don't tell your parents and you can't do all that, you will feel terrible. Now, if you're a parent and your child is trans, hating them, denying them healthcare is really bad, and it's really inhumane. So if you're a homophobic person watching this video right now, please stop. Alright, but I digress. If you're going down this route, you will hate your body. You'll hate it so much, you'll be tortured, you'll need support groups. If you want to make it out live, Discord, Facebook would be your best bet. If you're looking for people in your local area, if you're looking for people overseas, or you just really don't care, Discord is still a great option. But also TikTok or Insta would also work really well. Now, once you turn 18 and you're in that situation, you get the fuck out of there as soon as possible. To a partner's or a friend's house, and then be your true self. I know it will be hard. So fucking hard. There are people who care and love you no matter what. And if you don't think so, just know that I care so much. And if you need me, I have an email and I have ways of contact. You can comment or email me if you need. I'll give you some advice. Now, this whole entire advice page can be used for other friends and family, but I mainly made it for your parents. Now, here's a little bonus part explaining the effects of and outcomes of HRT. This is a long bonus, so buckle up. Estrogen. Now, in my previous video, I briefly covered the factors of estrogen. Now, I'll go through a timeline of what will happen to you on estrogen. Okay. From months 1 to 3, you'll experience decreased libido. Basically, what it says is that when you take estrogen, it lessens the effect of testosterone, which is basically the main source of male tension. Thus, taking estrogen makes you less in the mood. Now, you may think, well, assigned female at birth people can get interested, so why does taking estrogen make you less? Well, here's the cool part. Assigned female at birth people do actually have testosterone naturally produced in their bodies. It's just that assigned male at birth people actually have around 18 times more. But during ovulation, the main time for people assigned female at birth, their testosterone levels rise, which makes sense because, yeah. Now, people who are assigned female at birth can be as frisky as assigned male people at birth, but extremely simplified. AMAB people with less testosterone will be less horny. Though I said that, I couldn't think of more innuendos. Okay, another thing that will happen to you is softer skin. That skin will become way less oily. The softer, more smooth, especially with certain hairs becoming lighter and lesser, like your arm hairs and your leg hairs. Additionally, if you haven't grown any beard hairs, you may not grow any. You'll start taking estrogen. Now, body odor changes, you just have less voice now. Okay, now from months 3 to 6, you will see breast budding and growth. So after a few months of HRT, you'll get firm disc-shaped lumps of glandular tissue, which is a type of tissue that helps major bodily functions by secretions. In breast, they help with producing milk. This is a sign that your body is responding well to HRT and breast development is in action. Now, further breast growth can continue for up to 3 to 4 years until you reach your final size. But some quick tips to help support growth and make sure that you're eating healthy foods, but specifically ones high in phytoestrogens, such as flax seeds and soy products, and exercise helps too. Now, another thing that you'll see from 3 to 6 months is fat distribution. You may notice some of your proportions getting shifted and changed. So there's more emphasis on the thighs, hips, butt, and pelvis, as estrogen helps your body naturally guide to the correct distributions. And another thing that you'll see is muscle loss. Not major, but, muscle loss is pretty self-explanatory. Now, from 6 to 12 months, you'll get thinner hair everywhere. This doesn't mean it completely stops, but it does grow a lot slower and softer. And if you get HRT before you grow facial hair, it can completely stop that hair from growing. I already mentioned that before, I repeated myself inside the script. Now, from 12 to 24 months, most changes are fully completed and fixed. At this point, everything that will have happened, and you may still keep developing breast shape and size or other things, but not very many notable new things will happen past this point. Stage 3. Oh, well, stage 4, because I fucked up in the script. Social transitioning. So you're trans. Congratulations. Now let's start passing. First thing you'll want is a wardrobe you like, the one that you tolerate. Get rid of everything that makes you feel dysphoric and icky. Or if you care about the planet, hand them down to your family. Or a thrift store. Now, and now that you've got rid of everything that makes you feel bad, let's go shopping. I don't really recommend fast fashion as a cheap price is cheap for a reason. But if you have to, I'm not going to take you out back and shoot you 56 times. I'll only shoot you 55 times. But that's besides the point. I recommend a Dangerfield or a Target. There's one of those nearby. Dangerfield is very expensive, but if you can bear the price, it's better price. If not, then just any old thrift will do, or ask family and friends for old clothes, as I mentioned. If you don't want to wait for your hair to grow out, then look into getting some hair extensions and dye your hair. If that's something that interests you. They're a little expensive, usually around the $100 mark, at least where I live, Australia. So only get them if you really need to. For makeup, just get the basics like eyeliner, concealer, blush, contour. Don't go all out, and also any makeup tutorials will work. You don't need one specifically for trans women. for your makeup to still look good. Voice training male to female is not as easy as female to male, as estrogen and other hormones like it don't change your voice like testosterone does, unfortunately. But I will link some voice training videos down below. It's gonna sound very transphobic, but you should try to act like a cis person. Now that sounds transphobic, but it's not. Especially with the current climate, when it comes to trans people and society as a whole, it is imperative that you try to stay stealth when it comes to things. Only tell your closest friends who you know are supportive. Tell your school if you can, or if you're moving, that your gender you assign with is the one that you've given at birth. Lie, 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 lie. Because if push comes to shove, your safety is the most important thing you need to respect. Act girlish. If you're shy, be shy, but don't let your shyness make you weird. Because if you're a target, you'll eventually be outed. Try to be invisible, for lack of a better word. The more unseen you are, the more safe you'll be. I know this sounds bad, but look, it's just the current climate that we're in. Alrighty, sorry I got interrupted there. Now, the final stage. Here's some final transitioning tips and an outro. So, here we are. Above all else, just be happy with you. It's your life, so don't let anyone else dictate it for you. And I wanted to thank all of you for your support on my falling out video. Like nearly 11,000 views is actually insane. And I have to thank you all for that. And now we're in the Q&A section. I'll do one of these after every long form video, so question number 1 is by the skibbidiest Isis. Oh, wait, not Isis, fuck. At the skibbidiest SCIS. Sorry, they have a weird... Sorry, I know them. They're from my voice acting group that I used to do with Lily. I'll put a channel in the description because, you know, I'm just cool like that. But yeah, Lily's really nice. Unidentified Smiles has currently been cancelled for the foreseeable future. But there is a chance it will come back. It's just we've been dealing with stuff like inter-group conflict, stuff like that. But CSIS is really nice. And they asked, plushies or figurines? Look, I love both, but I find generally figurines can be a lot more detailed and a lot more decorative. So I tend to prefer those. So I love plushies. Now question number 2 is by @breaddevdog. Do you plan on getting a blahage? I have the shark. Question number 3 is by @OMBLYRB. I don't know how I meant to pronounce that. Probably like Zomlerb. Anyways, they asked, what's your favorite ice cream flavor? Now, I've had a lot of flavors that I like throughout my life, but here's a few. I used to like mint chocolate chip when I was younger. Then I liked cookies and cream when I was like preteens. And now I just like coffee flavor. I know, I'm fucking weird. Now, the last question I got was from @MissRoboBitch. Fantastic username. And they asked, what's my favorite color? Favorite color is green. Anyways, well, that's the end of the video. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. I'll see you guys in the next one. What the